Hey everybody, it's Chunka Conroy. Welcome back to more Kirby Triple Deluxe. Last time, we made it much further into Wild World. I always get so tempted to sing the theme song, but you probably wouldn't be able to understand me singing anyway, so I'm sparing you. This time, looks like we have some ancient temples up here in the sky to go through. A lost sky kingdom, you say? Do I smell lore, or just a simple level design choice? You cannot be eaten. Thought I would just show that really quick. I'm actually kind of glad that I have no power-up for this. As you will see, is there anything over here? Okay, just wanted to make sure that there wasn't anything that you weren't going to be seeing before I talked about the things that we were going to be seeing. I'll latch onto that. And at the very start of this temple, we have these guys. We have two enemies here that both give copy abilities. If we let them get close to each other and suck in both at the same time, this is one of the last elements of Kirby's standard moveset I haven't talked about yet. Mix Kirby! Wing! I was a little worried I was gonna get sleep there. Anytime that you do this, assuming that it is an enemy that gives a copy ability and not a power-up that you have dropped while also eating an enemy, you will get a random copy ability. For those who like resetting for this sort of thing, there is no UFO Kirby in Triple Deluxe. It's one of the few games to not include it, which is usually an ultimately powerful form that lets you fly through the air freely, very, very quickly, doing lots of damage in the process, and is generally seen as the most powerful of Kirby's copy abilities, except for the one-hit nukes, of course, because you can use it again and again. I'll go ahead and attack that, and I'm not getting Sleep Kirby for this, I'm sorry. As much as I like being complete, Sleep Kirby has come up at incredibly inopportune moments for me to show it. Shotzo right there. It's actually kind of nice having Wing here. The fact that I can move so quickly through the air when the main gimmick is ground speed being messed with due to the flowing sand. I like it a lot. Grandy! Oh, no. I gave up hugging a Grandy for this. Oh my god, he lived. I had to fix that, okay? Yeah, let me check out my moveset really quick. Make sure there's nothing we haven't seen with Wing Kirby. Doesn't look like it. I'll just use lots of different parts of the moveset as I usually do. After all, we're mixing it up. Omelet. Don't get too close to the fire. I don't like a burnt omelet. Where did you come from? That hothead turned into a Sir Kibble. These enemy respawns are insane. Like, you get one pixel off the screen. Nope, you don't exist anymore. Culling's a bitch, ain't it, guys? Okay, no. Sorry, I'm getting kind of annoyed at just like how fast these enemies are despawning and it throwing off my mojo. There's a rather obvious, not very inconspicuous keychain. Now we'll go through the door. I have to say, this is a clever place. It's really based around beating the clock and dealing with the ground moving underneath your feet, having to do some clever platforming. I like it a lot, but initially I didn't because I held on to that crash that we got in the earlier level. The one that I complained about having no apparent use. I kept it all that way, and I slid into everything thinking that this would be the place where Crash would have a really important use, and it didn't. It absolutely didn't. I slid into everything, had a very hard time on this, using a nerfed version of Kirby's moveset in an area where the ground is constantly moving, and I had a ridiculously terrible time. Open this treasure chest for Sunstone numero uno. Get a health recovery, get a pointless health recovery, and get some stars. Oh. If I get rid of you, now nobody has a cooler name than me! Whoop, boom, shuttle loop. Just looks so cool to combo with this thing. We're going once again. Bandana Waddle Dee. In the supporting role you deserve. I know I've already said that, I just need to hammer it home. I need to destroy the last bit of, oh god! Do you come back? Oh, good! Enemy respawning is a good thing after all! Gimme! I'd give up Wing for that. Rare keychain here as well. This was a room that I didn't find on my first playthrough, so chalk that up to another reason why I initially disliked it. I didn't keep Crash this long and ended up losing it after struggling through for a long time, and then I didn't find this room that gave it to you when you want it. No, it's blocky! Correction! Oh, I was gonna say it was blocky. Now you've ruined it. How dare you have high defense? Oh, we gotta move. We gotta move. We gotta move. Eat you. I'll take stone because you're a boss. I know exactly how to pass the time while we wait for that thing. Kirby. The man of my dreams. A fist. All three have a common theme if you look for it. That's terrible. I am so sorry for the mental image that you have had to endure thanks to me. Well, we'll go in, we'll take our new ability, and see what sort of boons it has waiting for us. Speaking of fisting things. Oh. The invincibility would actually be pretty good here because you can't normally do anything about those guys' attacks. I don't need the meat. As much as I like eating everything in sight and dealing with all the enemies, I don't exactly need to. It's probably been costing me a lot more health than anything else. Boom. Give it a nice uppercut. We got a pound switch. Doing it with the fist, which is extra flashy for how we deal with that. Leaf is a little tempting. I think I'm going to pass on it for right now because it's been a while since we've seen stone. Okay. I'm all for letting the grizzly bear population keep working. Or keep living. I guess living is kind of work at times. Oh. Come on. Come on. Okay. All 4 sunstones collected. Perfect. Come on. Go, 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 get over here. Thank you. Okay. All right. Made it. Grab that. Go down. There's the exit. Yeah! Soaring through the sky! I gotta look like a damn shooting star to you lowly peasants of Dreamland who don't live up here! I say this while wearing a crown made of rocks. I'm so high and mighty compared to everyone else. 3 Kirbys from Kirby Mass Attack. Spinny from Kirby Squeak Squad, which you already had. The rare keychain is the rare keychain is art. Bloon from Kirby Canvas Curse, and the last keychain that we get randomly is a Waddle Doo. You just love reminding me of how long I've been able to go without talking about Beam in detail. I wonder if that is subconsciously partially because I just don't really like the power-up that much. Well, we continue on through these ancient ruins in 5-5. Boom! I didn't mention it before. Those Cobra-looking enemies that were spitting the fire, their official name is Burner Guardian. At least that's what we think their official name is. It only comes from the internal files, like so many other enemies that are exclusive to Triple Deluxe. It's really weird, though, because they had to have new enemies to attack from the background so that they would work differently from enemies that were already established, and they needed enemies to fight in the Hypernova sections. So we end up not really knowing a lot of the enemy names just because there wasn't really a lot of official text associated with this one. I'll take that. And do I want Cutter? I think I do want Cutter. Suck it in. Oh, I can't go through these platforms. They're actually not soft. Combo move felt good to do on him, and I just had to kill him twice because he's a scarf. So, if I may continue on, I was talking a little while ago about that whole thing with the keychains, how the keychains obey gravity, and I want to tell you about the origins of that. That was actually just one programmer who decided to throw that in. It wasn't really the work of the director or any kind of, lead planner or anything like that. It was just a programmer who threw that in one day, and it was really well liked as a fun detail, so they kept it. And that's a really good example of something that I felt for a long time that I've always wanted a good reason to talk about. I don't like this mindset that the director or the writer or whoever, every time something ever goes wrong with a game or a TV show or a movie, it's always one person's fault. Where that one person just gets strung up on social media and everywhere, and everyone's like, oh, can you believe how much this writer utterly ruined this franchise forever? And I don't like that because everything is a massive collaborative effort these days. Movies, games, everything takes hundreds, if not thousands of people to make. And I just wish more people would realize that. It takes everyone coming together to make a game. The best game directors are the ones who do not have a vision that everyone else must adhere to. They're the ones who trust everyone to do their job. That's the whole reason that you hire multiple employees to do creative things in the first place, because one guy cannot do it all. And I just wish more people would realize that, you know? I think that that's it's kind of dangerous to get caught up in that everything is one man's fault when there's so many people that have power over such big franchises. And a lot of really great ideas come from people who don't have it as their job. And another good example of that is that a lot of people who worked on making Earthbound and the Mother series in general, they aren't people who usually make video games. Itoi's company wasn't really known for that and hasn't been known for that since. I just kind of think people should, you know, kind of respect the work that teams do and not really lay the blame squarely at the feet of one individual, because it's complicated. Your head writer or director of a video game or whoever, at the end of the day, they're just employees compared to the corporate folk that are the ones who are actually signing off on these decisions. They don't get an absolute say in everything like people treat them as. Anyway, just a tangent there. I've seen that so much lately, especially, that I've just wanted to say that. Anytime I've ever researched any game, it was always like, oh, this one guy had an idea that when it wasn't really his job to come up with, and everybody loved it, so we kept it. Can we take that Poppy Bros? Nah, I don't think so. Beam Kirby's had it a lot more overdue. We don't need to go eat the Poppy Bros. I'm just second-guessing myself at every turn. It's kind of funny because with Kirby being just a game with so many different movesets for this character, I end up finding myself wanting to try out all sorts of different things all at once. It's kind of like how I was saying that when I first played Kirby, I wasn't really a big fan because I found myself switching power-ups all the time instead of just finding one that I enjoyed. I'll break that open. So many treasure chests that contain things that are usually just on the floor normally. I am going to get enemies to kill with this thing, right? I'm not just going to be stuck with it, am I? I'm not just going to be stuck looking at how cute Beam Kirby is and not actually getting to fight, am I? Keychain. No. Go in. Star. Something to mutilate would be nice. And I don't mean my own head. Thank you. That sounds really disturbing out of context, but it was because his head squished across the side there. Beam Kirby and Spark Kirby. We're sticking with Beam. I need to use this. Got some ice cream from Waddle Dee. The ice cream didn't touch the floor, but today floor cherries can give me health instead. Oh! Dynamite! Running. I hope this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm gonna guard Dynamite. I didn't catch on to what was gonna happen there until a few seconds in. That is brilliant. But it also means I didn't get anything to hurt with this power. That's a really funny level design. I appreciate it so much. And oh, I needed the fire to burn this stuff down. Oh, well, damn, Beam. You're just cursed, ain't you? Poor Beam. I'll take this 1 star. I bet that's Beam's own opinion of itself right now, is that it's a 1-star power-up. Take this treasure chest, get another one of these. Breathe a little bit of fire, get a key. Okay, so good. It was a good thing that I got rid of that. It wasn't just a total waste. Kirby did his headbutt while holding a key. I'll move that. This is going to have a sunstone in it. Is that really only number 2? So it is that long of a level, you just didn't want to actually give Beam any chance to shine. I got smart, eventually. Where do I need to do this? So Cappy's weighting that down. If I make it go up, then it doesn't stay up. I burn him. Hop on the 3D Warp Star. Go back into the foreground. Weight this down as high as it'll go. This feels like it could be a gym puzzle in a 3D Pokemon title. Grab Sunstone number 3. With that last Sunstone being so late and it only being number 2, they're going to be laying them on pretty thick here, methinks. I never hear methinks spoken, I always see it written. I gotta change that because it's a speech quirk that I think I would have. I don't know if you think I would have it. I can't really ask you because you don't really know my personality the way that I would. Or maybe you would, because I feel like a lot of people don't really have a deep understanding of who exactly they are, because everything you do is so normal to you, and a lot of your own personality quirks feel boring and mundane to yourself. So I don't know, maybe not. Maybe you would know if I would say that a lot more. I'm asking for input on this now because now I'm self-conscious about it. I'll take that. I'll take that too. And I'll take a 1-up. 31 lives. I think I once said that I don't like the word methinks because it sounds like a way that Jar Jar Binks would end sentences when he's trying to sound smart, but I think I've been kind of coming around to it lately now that I've realized that it's just kind of a sad and lonely word that nobody says. There that goes. 5 treasure chests, all to myself. A rare keychain. A green star, a hunk of meat, a yellow star, and a sunstone. What'd I say? Laying on the treasure thick here. We got the lost treasure of the Temple of Lost Kingdomia. Assuming that's what it was called in the past. It's probably gone through at least 8 different country names in the times that it's existed. It's kind of weird to think that your country was probably once called something entirely different and there's no historical record of it. Is there something up here? Yes, there was. Yes, there was. I swore I saw this. I actually thought it was a Searches, one of those enemies that gives Crash. Yeah, this level was perfectly designed so that if you play optimally, there is no chance to use the power-up you get before that boss. It's like this Lost Kingdom decided to build this temple to fulfill the prophecy that beam shall not be used. 2 for 2. Yes! I'm getting good! Some kind of weight was lifted from my shoulder, and now I feel like I can do it. Moonwalk. Pointless health recovery, but a not pointless keychain. 4-color Kirby from Kirby and the Amazing Mirror. I always feel kind of bad that I don't like that game as much as other people do, because I've met people that are huge fans of it, but I feel like the power-ups are just so basic in it. Marks! Well, there's a beloved boss fight. King Dedede. The thumbs up he's giving with that face is perfection. And our last keychain, Chili. That's a new one. So it wasn't a pointless one. We did get a new keychain out of that. Nice. Hi. 8 sunstones. What do you take me for? The target audience. Got a boss fight? And then the way to the EX stage has been opened up as well. Next time on Kirby Triple Deluxe, we'll finish up Wild World. See you guys then.